I broke it. Welcome back, everyone. I am a professional caster who knows how to push all the correct buttons. We are here on Tomb of the Spider Queen for game number 1 in our Division C West matchup with Maple Syrup Bandits on the left, and we have the members of Phoenix Rising Citrine on the right. Let's find out, though, how we got to Cursed Hollow, how we got to Tomb of the Spider Queen here. Home team is going to be the members of Maple Syrup Bandits. They banned out Towers of Doom and Dragonshire as they opted for map pick priority for game number 1, winning the coin flip. Hanamura and Alterac Pass are banned up the members of Phoenix Rising Citrine, and this will be Tomb of the Spider Queen as the first map chosen by the members of Maple Syrup Bandits. Let's get back into our draft and find out what we got going on so far. Good to see all of you in chat. Thank you for coming by. Kalis, good to see you, my bud. It almost worked throwing you under the bus, Lupus. Sometimes. Do you ever replace the classic Pennywise laugh to baha baha baha? No, I don't want to creep up my chat. Because I feel a lot of them would be like, clowns, no, bye. You weren't so bad, yeah. Oh, what's up, Ripper? How you doing, bud? And Vilker, how you doing, bud? Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get into this a little bit here. We are in Division C West, so I think we're in the high platinum, low diamond range, if I'm not mistaken. It might be actually more mid platinum. If you want to know more specifically, you can do !NGS MMR, and that will give you the rough range, or at least the max range for the current division that we're in. Literally 4 limbs. Thank you for the follow, as well as Northern Touch. Thank you for the follow as well. So we have a Tassadar Garrosh band on the left-hand side, and an Ana and a Stukov, and an Ana and a Decker Kane on the right-hand side. You know, Stukov and Decker Kane look absolutely the same. Old man, corrupted man, same, right? Either way, Chromie will be first pick on the right-hand side with a Diablo coming in for the members of Maple Syrup Bandits. With the Diablo, they could look for something to be dive-heavy with them. What's really crazy is Bloodlust did have some changes. It was popular for a little bit, and then it was nerfed a bit. The Gladiators Warcry was like the big thing because you were doubling the duration, but we're actually getting an Ariel immediately. I don't think we Cho'Gall here, but sometimes it's fun to imagine that we could Cho'Gall here. Ariel just might be the priority for them because it does give them a little bit more control and set up for the Diablo potential. You get a Detainment Strike into a wall, Diablo Shadow charges into them, you get the double stun or the chain CC, if you will, and you have the overpower, so they'll probably be looking for some burst to add on to that. So we'll get back to that portion of their draft in a second. We have a Chromie on the right-hand side. I would say main tank and healer here, and that's exactly what they're going to do. The Malfurion will give cooldown reduction with the Innervate from their baseline trait or their D, and that will be probably applied to Chromie more often. It gives you cooldown reduction on your base abilities as well as a mana return to your overall bar, so that way you can spam more. And I don't think Chromie really struggles too much with their own mana consumption. I feel like that would be a really great way to maybe balance her, in the sense that she can't just sit there and throw sand for half of the entire game without ever having to tap a well or do anything besides stand in the backline and drop sand. Either way, let's just rework her again. Sonya will be banned on the left-hand side, and we have the members of the Phoenix Rising Citrine with the ban themselves. I personally would say get rid of something that is going to be burst heavy with the Diablo. I like a Greymane ban unless they plan to take it themselves. They don't have first pick after this ban phase, so it's kind of awkward, and they would potentially give that over. So I just lean into the Greymane. Ban out the Greymane here, get rid of it, and don't let them have that dive potential. They're actually going to get rid of the Imperius, which does still play well with this, but oftentimes I do feel like there is going to be... I looked over at chat for 1 second, and of course Ace. How you doing, bud? Modern Return on the D? Nice, yes, exactly. But the Imperius does have a lot more setup. The only thing is it's going to be in the solo lane, and it isn't really the strongest of solo laners when you do have a wave clear heavy based map. So something like a Zool or a Malthael or I guess Phoenix, technically, Thrall is actually a great option as well, would have a little bit more in that wave clear department for that solo lane, so they might be able to control that a little bit better. Things like Urel aren't really prioritized as of my knowledge. I could be completely wrong and see it right here. here, but I don't feel like I see a lot of Urel in some of these lower games. Something like a Leorc might be a little bit more popular, pairs well with the ETC, Chromie, and Malfurion for a lot of setup with a mosh pit, or just the Entomb itself has got so much setup for the entire team. But let's see what they go for here. It's going to be the Malthael, and they grab the Greymane themselves as well. Gives them some wave clear. I feel like they're a little lacking on the wave clear side. Same could be said on the left, though. Thrall, I'm kind of expecting to be solo into Malthael, and realistically, I think you just grab yourself a Jaina here. Jaina pairs well with the Phoenix, works with the Diablo. You go for the Apocalypse into the Ring of Frost. Even then, if you go into Water Elemental, you're still giving slows to you're still applying slows to the enemy team, which Phoenix can then get value from with the Purification Salvo. I doubt we see a Planet Cracker, but it could be an answer to a Mosh Pit. So long as Phoenix isn't Mosh, that's the only thing. So either way, you had to? No, thank you for coming by. I hope you're doing well, my friend. I'm seeing Urel trickle down this season. It's very interesting. I wonder why. Maybe because we nerfed her to a point where she's not just broken and just the most powerful thing in the solo lane. I don't know. I feel like Baja could cosplay as Captain Spaulding. Why do I know that name? Oh, he's the dude from House of a Thousand Corpses. Technically I did. There was, my friend did, she was a photo major at College for Creative Studies. This is back when I lived in Detroit, and she like her whole photo thesis senior thing was like a, what is it? Like, it was supposed to be like circus themed or something like that. So she had like everyone dress up and do like weird stuff. So she had like friends that could like swallow swords. Like, it's like all of us are weirdos, and we also know connections and stuff like that to stuff like that in Detroit. But they saw like a picture of me through a friend, and they hit me up and they were like, hey, you have an insane beard, do you want to do like a Captain Spaulding sort of like ringleader thing? And I was like, absolutely. So I'll have to find the photo for all of you, because I thought I did all right. Let's get into game, everybody. On the left hand side, we got the members of Maple Syrup Bandits. We've got Ragu on the Ariel. Trying to go is going to be, I see, I want to say an A in there, but there's no A, so it's Trine Go? I don't know. Either way, they'll be on the Phoenix. Defiant Angel will be on that Diablo. Tired Lemon will be on the side-sitting Jaina, and we have Spelduronic, I don't know. You guys come up with the weirdest names. They'll be on the Thrall. On the right-hand side, we got the members of Phoenix Rising Citrine. We have Rain on the ETC, Stoic on the Greymane, Ace will be on that Chromie, Lamort will be on the Malfurion, and the Malthael will be played by Asmochad. See, just come up with simple names like this on the Rain, easy. Stoic, easy. Ace, easy. What is this train to go? We're probably gonna call him Try. Triango rhymes with Ringo. Triango. See, that's the issue though. My brain's gonna start adding letters. Regardless, Asmochad's gonna get pushed around. They're taking a lot of damage as they're trying to back out of here. They're gonna get it with some 90 health, and Phoenix will actually go down first blood over to the side of Phoenix Rising Citrine. We're just gonna change their name slightly. We'll just call them something else. So like, we'll call you Spad. Spad and bottom place. I'm so sorry when you go back to watch this VOD. Welcome to Bahama Gaming stream, by the way, where I do an alright job casting, but can never say the player names properly, among other things. But we do have that one kill advantage, and I want to just show this to everybody, what one kill actually yields over in an early game. We're not even 300 experience, and that was a sub 1 minute kill, so you can kind of see it doesn't give a ton, but it does also slow them down in the rotations, as ETC will be stepping into this enemy team. Diablo is going to be able to find a lot of good controls. They find the power slide out on Rain, gonna start poking onto this Phoenix, and Try is going to try and get out, and they'll easily be able to disengage right there. Thrall did go into Echo the Elements at level 1, so they're going to be doing a bit of double rotation here to maybe pick up a few more of those stacks, as Phoenix is trying to help out with this. They are Arsenal Synergy at level 1, which does give them the increased damage to the not the repeater cannon, to the phase cannon, I believe. So it's every third. So after 3 attacks onto a hero, if you're playing Phoenix, you actually hear the kind of beep, or this kind of like this ready kind of noise, so you know that your phase cannon has the increased damage as well as splash and everything like that. So a lot of times what you'll see kind of like how Greymane plays with the Gilnean cocktail. They'll chase you. They'll have that sustained damage up until they get to the gate. They'll roll away with the they'll roll to disengage with their ability to go from Worgen to human form, and then they'll throw the Gilnean cocktail back through the gate. We see Phoenixes do something very similar where they kind of chase up into the enemy team up until they get near the gate, and then they throw the increased damage phase bomb on the gate itself, not the hero, because usually the hero's out of sight, and that splash will hit the hero, and sometimes that gets the kill, much like how a Greymane will use the Gilnean cocktail. So just a little play like that if you're wondering why it may be in general, but this also does give them wave clear. They don't have to specifically use it onto heroes. They could hit 3 heroes with it, get that charge ready to go, and then throw it onto the minion wave to get a faster wave clear, because as we are noting, their wave clear is pretty good, but having that will just speed them up even further, and it allows them to make these quicker rotations, find more experience. But unfortunately, they're not really finding said experience, as there is about a half a level lead, maybe a little bit more in favor for the side of Phoenix Rising Citrine, and they do have themselves turn availability, but everyone's going to need to turn in on the right-hand side. We have 16 on the Greymane, 2 on the Chromie, and 1 on the Malfurion or Malthael that could go in, because they are now going beyond that point where they actually have just enough for the turn-in. I'm not easy, but, you know, okay, all right, but, okay. That's what the sound is, a Jerobian saying here. Yeah, it's that little, like, boop, bloop. I don't know, it's a weird, like, you know the sound. Like, if you've ever played Phoenix and you've taken Arsenal Synergy, you'll know that sound when you hit 3 heroes. Like, it's just like a... It's a computer-type beep noise. I won't keep describing it because you all, I think, know what I'm talking about here. At least the vast majority of you do. If not, you can easily go into try mode with Phoenix and just take a peek at that. Regardless, we have our first objective phase coming through in favor for the side of Phoenix Rising Citrine. They'll go ahead and push this in through top lane. Thrall clears out bottom lane without any really... Actually, no, Malthael does come down, so they'll try and get some pressure into this bottom lane. Phoenix should be able to clear things out easily through mid, but this top lane will be the priority for Phoenix Rising due to the fact that they often want to go ahead and push boss in this lane a little bit later in the game. Oftentimes we often see a lot of teams try and end game or at least push towards a keep with a boss plus webweaver phase, but that also can go to the opposing team where the boss steal is a major potential as people are cycling in and out of that boss pit to be able to turn in to be able to find said boss and webweaver combo. Chromie did finish the deep breathing from level 1 already. They did go into the, and I actually don't know off the top of my head. Oh no, it's Mobius Loop, okay. They still went to Mobius Loop at levels, I think it's 5 for them. I just forgot what the actual talent looked like. I thought it actually had more of like a slowing sands type loop type look. Either way, as much as I'm gonna try and get out of here. Did they? No, they actually don't have the activatable and they're gonna go down from, no, they do. They do have Fear the Reaper, so I was reading the wrong talent and I was like, they had a bit of a speed boost right there. Ace comes down here, unfortunately will not be able to pick up those gems on the ground. So they'll lose quite a few from the death right there. I actually don't know how many off the top of my head. Someone in chat might be able to see it. It looks like it's double digits when I'm jumping and when I'm like peeking over at the stream. So it's probably somewhere in the like, it looked like 11 to 15 or something like that. How many they had in their pocket. Regardless, this will be blue webweavers coming out for the Maple Syrup Bandits. And they're going to be trying to steal a little bit more than these front gates. They're looking for that extra syrup for their pancakes here as the game progresses. 8 to 8 in levels. Let's go ahead and cycle through the other numbers, get an idea of what those look like. That's a time trap onto 1. They're going to actually work their way onto Rainu power slides through to the far side of this engagement. A lot of good damage coming out from Chromie as they're just going to force them back. And this mid lane webweaver being pushed back quite a bit. Top lane will be the new eye of their apple? No. Will be their new priority due to the fact that they just want to make sure they mitigate what we were talking about beforehand. That boss potential push through the top lane as Phoenix and friends. Wow, that's a great shadow charge from Diablo as Rain was just getting destroyed by the snow being dumped on them. There's going to be a temporal loop onto Defiant Angel, and they didn't use their Gladiator's Medallion. I actually don't know. No, it was off cooldown. They could have actually used the Gladiator's Medallion at the last second there to mitigate that, but they don't go down, so it's really not that big of a deal. They will be forced to hearth out. Mid lane, there's going to be the Gladiator's Medallion, and they're going to drop 24 gems. That's a big drop. Look at Rain. This is a big thing. Take this into your own games. That is a massive, like, little things like that. It only added, what, like 5 more seconds into them just staying in that lane, but being able to zone back the enemy gems because they have no vision of the enemy team at that moment denies them so much. That is roughly half a turn-in for them at this point on the enemy team. I think it was like just about half a turn. They had like 26, they need 55. So that's a big hurt, or a big I'm blanking on some of my words today. It's a big loss when it comes to their gem economy. Either way, 10's up on both sides. We are going to be seeing, as we said beforehand, Temporal Loop from the Chromie, but we have Tranquility for the Malfurion. No Twilight Dream. I was kind of expecting Twilight Dream with them being a little divey into them, but not the case, as ETC also will finish out their Proc Rock from level 1. That does apply some extra healing to the members around them now. So they are a healer. They have a second healer on the team, so double support meta is in play now. I wouldn't say 77 healing every second while it's active is considered a support, but hey, 77 healing might just be the itty bitty amount of health that you need to mitigate some of the Jaina burst. We'll see how it works out for them as the game just progresses. It is still neck and neck, 11 to 11, but about a level lead starting to form here in favor for the members of our Phoenix Rising Citrine, and they do have the turn availability here as well. Malthael has the last few that they need, at least in their pocket, so they'll go ahead and do that. And Greymane already pushing up the top lane a little bit. I want to point this out, because it's always really fun to note this, and just it's always good to note this if anyone doesn't know. Garden of Terror and Tomb of the Spider Queen have these mechanics where they descend into lane and they'll spawn at a certain point. Oh wait, that's a power slide mosh pit. The Detainment Strike knocks them back. Apocalypse comes out, but they still manage to burst down the Jaina just before this Web Weaver phase, which is massive for them. They find a lot of damage onto Phoenix, but they're not able to get the kill. My whole point that I was trying to make beforehand is the Web Weavers will descend up as far as the enemy minion structures or the minion wave is in front of it. So basically right here there was a gate, so it basically still descended back behind the gate. In bottom lane it went basically on the front gate same way, and then mid lane it probably descended right into the mid position because there was still a minion wave there. On Garden of Terror, the Garden Terror only spawns up as far as your minion waves. So let's say the enemy team has pushed back your waves to all the way to the core, it will spawn at the core. The difference, though, is the Web Weavers slowly lose health over time naturally. If we can actually click on the Web Weaver, you can see it. I know it's being hit by heroes right now. There we go. You can actually click on mid lane. There's the mid lane. You can see it in the top left of your screen. It's slowly losing health, and it will lose health even if there's no minions here to hit it. The reason that being is because it's the way that it spawns. On Garden of Terror, the Terror doesn't slowly lose health because of the fact that it can spawn super far back in lane, which is a little bit of a balance adjustment. So just little things like that are of note, because if you're playing on Garden of Terror and you're like, oh, we could have a garden that ends the game, pushing a few waves up while the enemy team might be dead could be massively beneficial for you. So just little things like that you can take into your own game. Regardless, turn availability will be here on the left-hand side for the Maple Syrup Bandits. We have Phoenix Rising Citrine coming in for the invade to try and stop this, but I don't think they'll make it in time. Actually, no, Detainment Strike. ETC, I don't think, got the face melt out. They are going to be on course, so that does give cooldown reduction to their Mosh Pit, which is going to be on a 3-second cooldown. It was just 10 seconds seconds ago, because they got in their face melt. They dropped the Mosh Pit on top of Diablo. They actually catch the foot of Ariel. That's going to be Jaina going down as Chromie has the burst damage necessary. There's going to be a massive heal onto the Phoenix. There's the Detainment Strike out from the Ariel to save them, but they're going to lose Phoenix and Ariel and quite a few gems on the left-hand side. This is now going to be looking like, I would say, boss. You got 4 dead on the opposing side. There's really nothing you can do outside of maybe rotate to bottom lane for a camp. You easily make this a boss call and you push in through top lane. Let's go ahead and cycle through the numbers once again, get an idea of what those look like while they burn through this boss, and we'll go ahead and take a peek at the push that comes in after this. I'd say heal is heal. Any number that means I don't die is welcome. That's fair. Buttspot being on point today, for real. I'd butt heal is heal. Any butt burr that means I don't die is welcome. Exactly. They're 28 gems away from a turn-in right now, so that's quite a few rotations around the map. I believe that's 7 waves. No, that caster math doesn't sound right. It's like 9 waves almost. Probably closer to 10. Regardless, that's just, it's too many waves to rotate around and sit there and pick up while they have a boss pushing through top lane and a slight talent tier advantage, or at least nearing that talent tier advantage. So threatening this right now is actually huge for them. ETC already has Mosh Pit up and available. Curse Bullet comes out. Divine Angel is going to be sitting. Oh, here comes the Mosh though. That's going to be a 4-member mosh, but it's immediately interrupted. Apocalypse comes out as well. Purification Salve will be out as well. Define Angel is going to be living with just a sliver of health. Stoic is so very low that Tranquility will not be enough to save them, and they're going to drop quite a few gems in this attempt to get a keep for top lane. They get a front gate, and that is about it. They get a little damage onto the keep. Chromie, unfortunately, is going to buy a lot of time, but they're going to go down. Staggering on a death like that, it buys them time for the friendly team to get away, but it also means that they're, well, a staggered death for the next added 30 seconds on top of the enemy team. And this is not something I often see teams go for, but it's risky. And actually, you know what? It makes a little bit of sense. They're probably expecting the enemy team to go for a turn-in, so they can just try and burn through the Siege Giants, offer some counter pressure into bottom lane before they rotate in, or hopefully, well, before anything gets caught out. I do want to point this out, though. They can see that this camp is up and available, and on the opposing side, the same thing can be said since they did tag the camp before the Webweaver phase did spawn. This is one of the many maps where when you spawn the objective, it does remove the camps. There's a few maps that don't. I believe like Infernal Shrines is one of the few maps that doesn't remove the camps during the objective phase, but like Battlefield of Eternity, that will remove the camps during the objective phase, not when they're being raced, but when they're actually in lane sieging. That's going to be a Sundering from Thrall coming out, as Machad just getting pushed around, a lot of healing slowly coming back into them, Tranquility up and available, Detainment Strike into the wall, there's going to be Jaina dumping some snow, there was the Gladiator's Medallion or the Nature's Cure out from Malfurion onto the ETC, I'm not 100% sure which one was used. We can actually maybe cheat really quickly and take a peek. Yeah, it was Gladiator's Medallion due to the fact that it's on a 290-second cooldown. Bottom lane, Webweaver far back because, as I said, there's the enemy team wave that was just cleared out by it. Top lane, sieging straight onto the structure as it did have a wave already up there as Machad coming up to clear things out. Lamort is doing their best as well. They're hoping that bottom lane will just kind of naturally go down as they do end up losing their top lane fort. That's a power slide from ETC to push back Divine Angel. There's an Apocalypse Purification Salvo. There's a lot of damage. Ring of Frost onto a couple Chromie so very low. Doesn't use the stasis. Malthael will self-cleanse out of there. Mosh Pit coming out. They're not able to get the kill onto the... Nope, they find the Thrall kill as ETC was able to set themselves up for, or at least set the friendly team up for a counter kill. So it's a 1-for-1, and Boss is up in a minute 47. Turn availability is non-existent for either side. And so right now, I think it's just rotating around the map and looking for some sort of map pressure, or at least some sort of just experience to get to that level 20 and also find another Webweaver phase. Do you remember the after Garden rework that the Vines for bot lane would get stuck behind the enemy fort and not spawn in Terror? It wasn't even bot lane specific, it was any lane. It was sometimes the Vines would be going from, like, let's say let's say you got the last seed in bottom lane and it spawns the roots from bottom out to the other lanes. If there was like a gate or something in mid lane, but there was no fort, it sometimes got caught on the gate and you ran into this perpetual cycle of Garden Terror phase when it basically never respawned and kept you into the Garden Terror phase, which is not that bad for the enemy team. It has graphical changes because you just have that rain and that darkness, whatever, but it's not like Cursed Hollow where you actually have like structures being shut down or anything like that. So it was just very, very interesting, but it was very rare if it would get caught on those gates. This is going to be a flank coming out from the members of Phoenix Rising Citrine. They're gonna power slide through. They don't have a mosh pit up and available for 27 seconds. Defiant Angel is gonna get the Crystal Aegis just in time. They're looking to back out of here, but the enemy team wants this. The Sundering actually anti-synergizes with the Purification Salvo. Defiant Angel so very low, just backing off as this is looking like a bottom lane pushed back by the members of Phoenix Rising Citrine. But yeah, no, Garden Terror when initially got the changes had such a weird spawn bug that it was just, and it was also super rare too. And then like eventually after like 5-6 minutes that it would eventually spawn the Terror in the lane, like something would happen or someone would take down the gate eventually and it would naturally actually find its pathing correctly in the game and be able to get to the proper lane. But then you still do have that happen. Like I remember there was a legit game that I casted where like I as the caster was even just like, this game would have actually been won if that third Terror actually spawned, but it didn't. It got stuck on a gate. Diablo will go down, but they're going to be souls, so that's going to be them respawning immediately. They do have 0 souls as of note, so keep that in mind. If they do dive in, they're going to be a little more squishy, and they need to remember this as well. ETC Mosh Pit up and available. Defiant Angel already over here. The friendly team coming in. Can they make some sort of counterplay into this happen if they try and engage onto them? ETC almost lining up purposefully. No, it doesn't. Maybe. I thought ETC was kind of lining up against this structure here just to try and bait the Diablo out, and that actually might be the case. A couple of them are lining up right in front of the structure, and they might not be doing it intentionally, but that could be a bait for Defiant Angel to come out there. They drop the mosh. Even if you give a private dance to a Lord of Terror and get a kill, that's still a kill in the Lord of Terror, just saying. And you gave him a private dance. Win-win for everybody, right? Bottom lane is going to have a sliver of health on that fort, but they're actually going to try and push in through this mid lane consistently here. What's the health on this? 1,315, as they'll go ahead and grab themselves the camp for the top lane. If only Chromie still had a bye-bye. Oh my god, that was actually true. Yeah, that top lane where Chromie got picked off over here, that would have been hilarious if we just saw a bye-bye. That would have just been the most tilting thing. ETC tries to drop the mosh, but it's on a 10-second cooldown, so that means they'll, well, have that in 6 seconds here, and they'll be able to look for another setup for the friendly team. Mid lane keep is still up and available. They have a camp pushing in on the opposing side. 39 with 14. They're gonna be a little off here, but not by much. That's my caster way of saying I have no idea how close they actually are. What's up, Langaria? How you doing, bud? Great man on the right-hand side to go ahead and grab a camp. Oh, sorry about this earlier. Softbert and Lortech, thank you for the subscriptions. We'll resend your alerts when we get out of this game. I just now noticed that ETC though setting up over here on the left-hand side. Turn availability will be up when they get 7 more gems. Until then, that's basically 3 more waves, I believe. A little bit less, as you get 3 per wave. They will be able to find 20s themselves on the left-hand side, and this will be an even talent tier heroic push. Well, I mean, they still have to get the gems necessary. ETC though, no, they're not going to be stepping out that far. They're literally just waiting for the objective phase, and they're just going to play around that. They could look to maybe bait a boss if they wanted to try and fake it over here in this top lane after getting the wave, because they have this turn availability, and they could look to maybe just no. No, they're not going to play any shenanigans. They're actually going to back off right now. Stoic has the turn in, but Malthael pushed out a little bit more. Oh no, Malthael has the turn in. My bad. I actually missed that earlier as they were pushing out the bottom lane, putting in the this wave right here. So this is actually a really good example of pushing out your waves before the actual objective phase. This should spawn just about right in front of this keep. They're going to move in with this mid lane as well. Prepping to record a podcast an hour. Nice. Enjoy your podcast episode. Clumsy, good to see you. Tatsuki! I hope you're having a wonderful day, my beard buddy. I hope everything is perfect for you, and I hope just everything's great. That's it. I hope you're having a wonderful day. We do see our web weavers descending, and so here's what I was talking about, where it descends into the enemy minion wave. So it's going to be onto these keep front gates and bottom and mid, and then just approaching the top keep itself, well, in top lane in just a second here. Jaina throwing some snow down just to be able to zone them back. Rain taking a bit of a damage, overpower, shadow charge, a lot being used onto this ETC as there's a ring of Frost Apocalypse. Cleanse goes out, ETC trying to power slide out, uses the blink. Diablo goes in with the shadow charge. They drop the mosh pit, but it's on a 10-second cooldown as there was a detainment strike from the Ariel. Detainment strike once again as the purification salvo is going to tickle quite a few members, not going to find the kill. Webweaver still pushing in through bottom lane, will find a keep. Top lane now approaching. They're looking for this mid lane keep as well. Top lane, we can take a quick peek as this minion wave should easily be able to burn down this keep, and this is looking like a triple keep phase during this Webweaver wave, and Defiant Angel is a little far out. The Fire Stomp saving them. They use the Gladiator's Medallion, but they still end up going down. That's going to be a double kill for the Phoenix and the Nexus forces, and I think they've managed to stave off this potential end. Asmached getting a little bit low. They don't have the last rights, and I don't know. Wait, do they win this 1v1? They actually end up popping. Oh my god, because of the 20 unconquered spirit from the Phoenix, the outplay is going to come out from Phoenix into Malthael, and they actually end up getting the kill into them. I thought for a second, because I was like, if I was the Malthael player, I was like, oh yeah, I got this kill, and then all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, unconquered spirit value, F. 2-minute cooldown, but still. That just saved their Phoenix from getting picked off, and I don't think the Malthael would have turned things around. But still, bit of a nuisance. Gonna probably just slow them down with this time trap. No? Okay, so they do stop Ariel. Try to find the combo into them. Not able to do so. Still poking out here and there. Getting an Ariel pick would be massive for them, but Chromie staggering out of death was way worse. Okay, and I think Thrall is just zoning with their actual physical body to threat. Chromie just trying to get a little bit of vision. This Malfurion rotating up. I don't think they can make this in time. Yeah, the boss is being shredded by the enemy team. They could look to backdoor through bottom lane or something like that while the boss is pushing in, but I don't think. I think they're gonna turtle up here and just look for the defense. It's 10 up on both sides. Let's go ahead and cycle through the other numbers, get an idea of what those look like, because we have not had a look at those in the late game. Excuse me, I was getting water. I didn't realize they were going to move past my camera. It's a good day. Hopefully you're all doing great. We are all doing great, Tatsuki. Especially we're doing all better because you're here. This is Web Weavers Ascending that are literally just going to be on their own core for defense, but there's a lot of catapults here. Okay, these Web Weavers should descend. These catapults are hitting for like 400 right now. I don't think the Web Weavers, like, I don't think the catapults end, but like, this is so much. 62 is what their core health is at, and I think they're starting to back off because they're a little worried. Sundering coming out over on this right-hand side engagement. Temporal Loop will come out as well. Purification Salvo onto a lot, but that's just going to tickle their health bars. Last Rites will save the Thrall. Excuse me, that's going to be the Crystal Egg is saving the Thrall. They also utilize the... oh my god, I'm blanking on the name. The Shield of Hope from the Ariel. There's a blink forward from the ATC. They drop the Mach, interrupted by Defiant Angel with the Shadow Charge into the wall, and now they continue to chase this out. Phoenix is going to be trying to find their way into the backline. Lamort is going to be able to pop the Tranquility, help the friendly members get some healing out. Stoic so very low is the chain lightning value coming out. The Web Weaver still pushing into the other lanes has actually forced them back to the point where they're like, well, now we can actually continue to push into this. Phoenix, though, so very low. They don't have the Unconquered Spirit right now. I don't think they do. Oh, wait, no. Is it off cooldown? Yeah, well, actually it was. It was just off cooldown. ETC trying to go in to set up something with just the power slide. No mosh pit for 74 seconds. Mid lane fort goes down. Bottom lane fort goes down as well. The waves are being pushed in, and this periodic catapult pressure from the enemy side will at least alleviate some of the consistent catapult pressure from the enemy team, as the catapults are hitting for 456. Keep still up, I know. Are you gonna stream Among Us? Maybe. Oh, is maybe Saturday's Totsky stream? Maybe Totsky's the stream host. Maybe I'll talk to Totsky, because it doesn't have to be me who streams it, but like she could stream it if she wants, and I can just take it off. 62% though. I wonder if I wonder in comms right now if there's any sort of talk about doing a backdoor. Hey Simon, good to see you, bud. How was your stream yesterday? I saw you, I was lurking a little bit. I hope you had fun playing, I think it was Amnesia, or maybe I'm saying the right name wrong. It's a spooky game, right? No turn availability on either side. 65 is what both teams need for any sort of potential next Web Weaver. 10 up on both sides when it comes to our kills. ETC, Mosh, and everyone's heroics are off cooldown currently. I'm kind of expecting, like oh, there's Sunder, but that's very far of a setup. Jaina dumps some snow on top of Rain, and they get some abilities, and they get a heroic out from the enemy side. I'm like slightly holding my breath, like waiting for them. What's the game plan right now? 512 for a catapult in top. Are they just trying to end? I think they thought about ending. I don't know what's happening. Who's backdoor? What? Desert Jester, please. Greymane being chased by Diablo. I think they do see this as well. Hold on. There, this is the red vision. Okay, so Curse Ball goes back. Rain in the back lane, maybe looking for a mosh pit. Defiant Angel going to be very low. They do have Soul, so that's going to be an insta revive for the Diablo. If they do go down, Last Rites might kill them. It doesn't actually, because the Shield of Hope from Ariel to help them out right there. That level 20 heroic coming in. ETC gets bursted by the Jaina. Thrall going to be stepping in. Temporal Loop coming out as well. Ace is going to go down. This is going to be the Tranquility from Lamort coming out as well. Stoic getting a little bit low here. They're going to continue to chase onto them. Overpower Shadow Charge is going to be there, and they find the kill, but their own core will die to the minions. GG, well played. I didn't even see that happening, honestly. Dear Lord, what a game one, everybody. What a game one. Like, what an insane game one. That's how it goes, huh? Tomb seems to always be going past 20. Sometimes. I feel like the in-house is not. Single target Shield of Hope value, yeah. There was actually a lot of good Shield of Hope moments in that game. And Winions. I honest to God didn't see it till the last second. I was like, what's happening to their core at the moment? And I didn't look at the minimap. Winions MVP. I mean, I kept noting, like, those catapults were 500 damage plus. Easily nearing 600. Winions up 100, yeah. All right, we have a couple alerts to resend as well. Thank you, Softburt, for the 8 months. No. Thank you for the 10 months. Sorry, the streak thing always throws me off.
To the end of the world.
I've seen in-houses go to 20 minutes though. Oh, absolutely. There's a case for everything. But I'm saying here's my whole point is like there's probably one in-house game that goes to 27 minutes when the average though is probably 15 to 16 though. Like that's the thing. Like yeah, you can say there's an example for all of that. Like last night I had a 30+ minute Infernal Shrines game if I'm not mistaken. So, and that was Division D though. But it can be said anywhere. Like you can have long games in anything, but I'd say it's more common when you get to these lower rankings. Nothing like against the lower rankings by any means. It's just the sense that sorry, I'm trying to also write a message to someone at the exact same time. It's the fact that win conditions. People in the lower rankings don't know when to end. Last night actually we had a lot of good examples. I'm just going to let them know what map it is, so they have to make, because teams have to make maps now because I might set us to Western. Regardless, there was like a couple good moments last night in the Knights that stay bronze versus the Cool Cats and Kittens where it's Division D West, and there was a lot of moments in that game. There's a lot of good moments in that game where I was like, look, you could end here. You can absolutely end here. So it's just, the big thing is just it's win condition moments and being able to see those in E, D, and C. I think those are the most prominent divisions in at least NGS, and you could probably say it's in like Division 5 and 4 or whatever for Heroes Lounge. Like those teams probably struggle the most with knowing when they can end the game. There was at least a couple moments in that game where either team could have ended, but they didn't because they weren't sure of their actual prowess, their ability to be able to end the game itself. So that's the big deficit when it actually comes to some of the knowledge in these games, is that you have these pro players or the ex-pro players, top tier, whatever you want to call them at this point, who are doing these in-houses, and they literally can look at the game and be like, all right, there's 2 dead, we have a Greymane, Li Ming, and whatever left, like we can go to core and end. Whereas some teams would say there's 2 dead, we have all of our members, but we don't have enough like damage on the core, which they actually might not realize they do. They do have enough damage, and sometimes that shielding from the core is a little daunting. Daunting. Either way, my whole point is it's more prominent within the lower leagues. That is my whole point at the end of my ramble. I'm just currently making all my adjustments for the stream, so let me go ahead and update 1 or 2 things, and then we will get going into game number 2. Let me also just mark this. Repost because you didn't see. Oh, so you don't want to see more of Urel, so you want to request her to shred more layers and go. Wait, what? I want less armor on Urel, period, always. Oh my god, yeah. What is it? I think it's Sip Emo gives you the artist Twitter. There you go. That's Simon, if you want that, that's the artist Twitter account. If you want to message them about any emotes. They're a little on the pricey side, but it was worth... No, I wouldn't even say it's pricey. I paid roughly... What are we doing? Why are we... We didn't set the lobby correctly. Yeah, I think I paid like $90 for 2 emotes, which is actually pretty good for both of those. The game was wild? Yeah, I agree. Why, Ace? Why? Why, Ace? I have no idea what's happening in this draft chat. Either way. All right, we're going apparently. I don't know. Welcome back, everybody, to the Nexus Gaming Series. My name is Bahamut. On the left-hand side, we got the Maple Syrup Bandits. On the right is going to be Phoenix Rising Citrine. If you're sitting at home wondering how we got to Braxis Holdout, I got you covered, my friends. Home team is going to be Maple Syrup Bandits. They won the coin flip, opting for map pick priority for game number 1. Towers of Doom and Dragon Shower were banned up by them. Hanamura Temple and Alterac Pass were banned up by the members of Phoenix Rising Citrine. Tomb of the Spider Queen was the first map chosen by Maple Syrup Bandits, and they lost that. The losing team, Maple Syrup Bandits, can either choose first pick or map pick. They opted for map pick priority for game number 2 and have chosen to take us to Braxis Holdout. Let's get back into our draft and see what has happened here. Miss Windup Bird, how you doing? I just got here ready to watch some HOTS while eating dinner. What's for dinner, Miss Windup Bird? Let me live vicariously through you. I had a sandwich. I had a chicken and Swiss sandwich that it was cold cuts and bread. Yeah, it was fridge food. It's really, yeah, no, they have really good pricing. It's just, it's up there when it comes to emotes. It is a little bit on the pricier side, but I think it's worth every penny. Like, the turnaround time was quick. The sketches that I got, like, I had no adjustments to the sketches whatsoever because she literally encapsulated everything that I asked for in the initial setup. I was like, I just want like a sip emote of myself and my dog. And like, she's like, what do you want to be drinking? I was like, can you do a teacup with like a little tea bag? And she's like, perfect. And that's like, that was literally the whole conversation. I saw the sketches like, these are adorable. I did send her references of myself and Bandit as well. So they had a couple of those as well. Which were beneficial to them. But yeah, no, it was a super, super quick turnaround process. Like, I want to say it was like a week for me to get the emotes in total. Alfredo chicken pasta with some Cajun spices. That sounds delicious. Alfredo chicken pas butt with some butt gin spices. Oh my god, butt gin spices. I can't wait for them. Let's focus here, though, on the game, as we do have a Chromie ETC ban on the left-hand side and a Sonya Rexar on the right. As we head to Braxis Holdout, Rexar is quite an annoying hero to deal with. ETC is just prominent and strong overall in these points, and they respect the Chromie from the last game. Ana is going to be up and available, so they're immediately going to grab that for themselves. Left-hand side, going to go for the Diablo and the Deckard Cain, as Deckard Cain was banned out in the last game, and Deckard Cain has a lot of really good value on Braxis Holdout. This is a point control-based map where you're going to be having the top lane control and the bottom lane control points that spawn very, very early on, and everyone in the bottom lane typically is going to be 4v4, so you have the Deckard Cain who can apply the Ruby value onto the Herodric Cube to get some healing out to the friendly team. Meanwhile, Diablo's able to CC and control everyone by just throwing them around literally as the okay, sorry, I was reading something and I was like, is this about me? No. They're actually gonna go for Mei and Orphea right now. We actually haven't seen any Mei play in NGS. At least I have not seen any Mei play in NGS so far, because, well, tonight's my second night of casting Season 10. I'm a little bit behind. CCL's eating up a bit of my time, but either way, I hope you all are excited about that as I am as we get into another ban phase. Ana, Mei, Orphea on the right-hand side. They still need a solo lane, and they still need some extra damage. If they don't... Oh, actually, you know what? I was actually going to say if they plan to take a Hanzo themselves, or if they don't plan to take Hanzo, banning out the Hanzo would be great, but I love the Greymane ban. It's actually really, really smart of them. It would have paired well into their draft. Now, here's the thing, too. Maybe they don't have a Greymane player, so maybe that's the reason they're not going for it, but, like, the Greymane with the Diablo would work out really well. Maybe they have something else in mind. On the right-hand side, though, they do need, like, if you're banning from the right-hand side, they need wave clear, they need damage, they need a solo lane, so it's really what do you want to get rid of? And they're going to get rid of the Jaina, as she was quite the nuisance in the last game. Ring of Frost and Burst potential value really played into the later half. Phoenix, once again, will be the pickup. Do we have a Thrall again? Do we have a Thrall into Phoenix? Do we see, like, Earthquake Thrall? No, Kael'thas, right. Well, no, we still could get a Thrall. Smoochie! How you doing, bud? Buttjin, first pick incoming. Oh my god, Buttjin. Oh, bless. We were talking about Cajun spices, but now we're talking about Buttjin, which is Smoochie. That's, oh no, there's no N in Smoochie. Well, Buttg. But, ooh! Is this why they banned out the Sonya?
The wait is over.
I actually really like the Cassia. I wasn't thinking about that whatsoever. I was kind of stuck on Hanzo, but I think the Cassia could work out for them pretty well. There's a lot of good damage from her. A lot of good there's a lot of enemy members that want to kind of group up, so Ball Lightning will be great. Valkyrie is actually a great tool, too. I'm excited to see this Samuro play. This Samuro play is going to be very, very interesting because of the fact that, well, it's just... We're in a different division. We're going to see different division Samuro play. We'll see if they end up going into Bladestorm for wave clear. I just finished a workout trying to grow my booty. Usual stuff. I mean, usual but. Oh my god, bless you, Smoochie. Yes, usual but. Smoochie over here just trying to get that winter butt. You know, you got to look good in snow pants as well. I don't, Smoochie, do you even have snow where you live? Like, don't you live in SoCal? I actually just bought new snow pants. I'm very, very excited. They had a sale. I'm a single man who bought something for himself clothing-wise, and I think it looks moderately good on me, so I'm excited. I'll donate some of my butt. Crushinator. Don't do that. Butts are precious. Alrighty, everybody. I hope you're ready for this game. You're in NorCal. Okay. I thought for some reason you. Oh no, you're in Bay, aren't you? Still no. So okay, yeah, you're in Bay, I think. Let's get into game. On the left-hand side, snow does not equal cocaine. No. This is a wholesome stream, Linguria. Maple syrup bands on the left-hand side, trying to take us to a game number 3. We have Tringo. I think I'm gonna go with just Tringo. Sure. It's gonna be on the Phoenix. Tired Lemon will be on that. Kael'thas. Defiant Angel will be on the Diablo. Ragu will be on the Deckard Cain. And we have Spaldronic on the Lunara. On the right-hand side, we got the members of Phoenix Rising, Citrine trying to close things out in a 2-0 fashion. Asmo Chad on the Samuro. We have Rain on the May. Stoic will be on the Cassia. We have Lamort on the Ana. And we will be seeing Ace on the Orphea. Or as Kagiri would say, Orphea. That's just for Kagiri. We can see the sky today. Lucky. I haven't seen the sky in weeks. Tahoe's been really, really bad because we have fires north, southwest, and southeast of us. We have fires all around, and then there's all the fires to the west of us too. And then there's the Colorado fire, but that's way far away. But yeah, there's supposed to be westward winds that come in too, which is like awesome, cool, more smoke. So yeah, it's like our AQI, our air quality index for Tahoe has been over 150 baseline for the last like at least 2 to 3 weeks. So it's been rough. Like today's walks were not fun. Let's get into game though, everybody. Samuro is actually going to be down in this bottom lane. We have Lunara into Cassie in the top, which is not what I was expecting. Samuro's going to, no, excuse me. That's going to be Phoenix, I believe, utilizing the Gladiator's Medallion as they're going to back off a little bit. This will be the objective phase up and available. Ranges mounts up. Sleep Dart did come out for a second. There you go. That's what I want to do. Sorry, I think there's a little bit of feedback from my mic from the. You're in the Bay, okay, that's what I thought. Prove it, Baja, DMs are open. What are you trying to, what do you want me to slide in your DMs, Smoochie? Yeah. Either way, let Bandit. Okay, so Raxus holdout at the start right now, it's really not super, wait, hold on, I was gonna say super aggressive, but May will be able to use the cryo freeze right there. Defiant Angel might have been baited by that as they're gonna get slow. No bot from the actual icing itself. Meanwhile, Lunara does hold over top lane. This will be bottom lane held over by the members of Phoenix Rising Citrine. To note for anyone that is wondering, this is a best of 3 series, so this could be game win for the members of Phoenix Rising. But I have Maple Syrup Bandits. They've got a lot of fight in them, and I think they're easily able to take us to a game 3. I definitely think it's possible. As I say this, Phoenix is going to get picked off, and that will be first blood over to the side of Phoenix Rising. And might have cast a curse myself a little bit right there, but we'll have to see. The game is very young still. Left-hand side, though, on this bottom lane, Diablo finds the Shadow Charge into Rain. There's going to be Samuro diving into the backline. And I say diving, mostly I just mean spreading their clones and getting a lot of aggression because they did go Wave the Blade. No, they actually didn't. They went Wave Illusion at level 1. Every time Mirror Illusion critically strikes a hero, Samuro gains 0.25 attack damage up to 10. After hitting 4 heroes, Samuro gains an additional 30 attack damage. And they're going to go Mirage, which is going to be spell armor on those clones, which is going to be beneficial into the Phoenix Kael'thas as they do have a lot of damage coming out, and they can mitigate some of that, allowing their clones to sustain some of the chain bomb burst and all of that kind of stuff. Because Samuro clones, and you throw one chain bomb, that's going to be a bit of a rough go. Firestorm from Diablo. Defiant Angel is going to push people around. Cryo Freeze used by the Mei right there. Looks like they did no upgrade on Cryo Freeze from level 4 from them. I believe there is something, or am I thinking of 7? Am I thinking of like battery backup at 4 and something else at 7, or do I have those flipped around? I don't cast enough May to remember off the top of my head. I think battery backup's at 7. I think I'm wrong. I think there's the upgrade which gives you spell armor after the cryo freeze from level 4. I'm like 60% sure. Like, that's my level of confidence on that one. There's a lot of potions, a lot of floor juice over here, but they're not able to pick it up as Ana's going to put them to sleep. Those will expire. Rain going to find some, well, is attempting to find some burst. Or excuse me, Tired Lemon tries to find burst into Rain, but meanwhile, Samuro is able to get the kill onto the Diablo down over here. Lunara continues to hold over the top lane. Samuro on point. Cassia just not able to step into this just yet, but they do have these blinds into Lunara could be beneficial. The issue for them right now is also the damage over time from the Lunara poison. Samuro's sneaking off. I think they're going for a camp, unless no, they're coming up here to help out with the Lunara. Unfortunately, Lunara is Sentinel Wisp. No, wait, no, she's not. She's actually Nature's Culling. No, not Nature's Culling. She's Nature's Perspective from level 1. I couldn't think of it either way. My whole point is just the getting the auto attacks, or just the Sentinel would have allowed them to see the Samuro coming in over there. So it was just very well played. But now look at Asmachad with the flank into the enemy team. Going to be going straight onto this Deckard Kane, and they're just trying to find the damage in them, but they're not able to, as they're going to get forced back. But they have the channel for the objective phase, and this will be first a Zerg wave coming through in favor for the side of Phoenix Rising Citrine, and this will be their massive Zerg wave coming in. Lots of Banelings. For anyone that doesn't know, the Banelings, the little greeny dudes that are just doing somersaults, they deal a lot of siege damage, as well as a lot of single target damage into heroes that stand in their path. So if you're ever in lane when the Zerg wave's coming through and you're the defender, please don't stand in those, because you will literally get bursted down by the Banelings. It's even more devastating than I feel like Zagara's Banelings. That's a lot of damage onto Stoic, who stepped way far forward, but the healing from Lamort is just enough. Maybe it's not. Nah, and Phoenix finds the damage right there. Samuro already finished Way of Illusion from level 1. They've managed to get all of those critical strikes. This is maybe Phoenix stepping too far out. With 100 health, they're going to tap the potion. This is Samuro also able to get out of there as they drop the clones here. This is Zerg Wave cleared out through top. Zerg Wave in bottom lane cleared out as well, and Orphea just trying to push up a little bit while the enemy team is showing in top lane. Very well played from both sides, pretty mitigated, and that's the majority of the damage in favor for the side of Phoenix Rising. Maple Syrup Bandits, though, still have a lot, like a long road to go if they want to start to bring things back, because the big thing right now is also getting control of these lanes. Seemingly, I feel like they're rotating around and dealing with a lot of things that are being put onto the map rather than actually putting some pressure into the enemy team. This is what I'm talking about. They're going to put pressure into Stoic. Great gravity lapse. They find a lot of good burst into the gate, as well as onto Cassia, but no kill. Diablo will finish out Souls. They have that up and available, and if they go down, they have the 5-second respawn time. For anyone that is wondering, that is going to be why there's a little bit of a glow underneath Diablo's icon. You can actually see the Soul Stone, I believe is the actual name, the Black Soul Stone. That glow underneath them means they have those souls that are available. So if you're ever sitting in game and you don't want to hit tab and you don't want to hit talents and you don't want to look over there, you can just look at the Diablo, because the enemy team can see this as well. We can jump over the Samuro vision, and you can see that right there. Underneath Diablo, there is that little circle with that red in the center. The same can be said about Junkrat with the Dirty Trickster from level 7. If that little kind of smiling Junkrat logo is underneath them, that means they have the Dirty Trickster value off cooldown, and if you basically trigger it by lowering their health below half, or stunning or rooting them, you'll trigger that. So it's just little things like that you can just know without having to literally hit the tab talents, and it's little things like that that can really make big differences in your own games. Another good example, instead of having to be, let's say, Lunara, oh, what's the camp timer, 143? Well, instead you just hover over with your cursor. Little things like that make massive differences in the game, because your cursor's where your hero is, rather than clicking on the map, clicking back to your hero, or hitting spacebar, or whatever it is you do in your standard rotations of key mashing. Yeah, that's probably the right way to say it. Regardless, we are going to have 10 talent tiers on both sides. Avalanche for the May. So that's going to be the only, I guess, real odd. No, I wouldn't say odd. Icewall's good. Avalanche is good. I think they both have their own viability, or they both are viable completely. Otherwise, though, pretty much standard across the board. Valkyrie will be the pickup for Cassia, but I feel like it's very 50-50 when we get Valkyrie or Ball Lightning. Both could be optimal here, but the Valkyrie could be utilized to pull someone like Deckard Kane out of the back line, as they will be able to get the bottom lane fort. They have initial channel onto this bottom lane, but top lane will be held over by the side of the Maple Syrup Bandits. Phoenix Rising Citrine coming up here and readying up for a big fight, but Cassia, Lunara, still, they're kind of showing to the enemy teams. Both sides can, I think, see each other. Samuro throws some clones over here. They harass. They get also some good vision onto Ragu. Asma Chad just trying to look like a clone over here, doing a great job of that. Just trying to play a little cagey, a little boxy. Let's pull away the talents really quickly and zoom in as this is going to be a fight. Rain stepping in. They're going to use the Cryo Freeze. Samuro into the backline. Stay a while and listen coming out. Will connect onto the toe of Orphea as well as Rain, but they're going to get woken up. Orphea going to get woken up to the Purification Salvo as the Apocalypse comes out from the Diablo. Asma Chad trying to step away from that real quick. They actually find the kill into the Phoenix. They're going to overpower them, and they end up getting the kill into the Kael'thas as well. This is a great double kill for the side. A Phoenix Rising Citrine. Divine Angel and friends back off, and this is looking, at least for now, like the charge potential for our red team. How dare you educate me? I have my own opinions on what things should be. Yeah, exactly. How dare you tell me facts about the game? I want to play it wrong. Something like that. Didn't know about the Diablo indicator. It hasn't been in the game for a little, like, I think it's fairly new. Like, not like super new, but I don't think it's like mega old. I did not know about the Diablo iButticator, and I've been butting since Tech Alpha. Whoops. That's okay. I mean, here's the thing. I told Paradox about the camp timer minimap thing, as well as the punishers on Infernal Shrines, where you can hover over the objective phase before it even announces, before you can get the visual indication on the bottom right or the actual little spire itself. And he was blown away by that. Like, we were mid-cast, and he's like, "Wait, really, Bahamut?" And so, like, yeah, no, I've learned things from Paradox as well. Like, there's itty bitty things that like just everyone picks up from each other. But the one thing I can tell you all, one of the best things from Aliobs at least, which is the observer overlay we use, APM. Let's look at some APM, everybody. This is Leon Black's favorite. That's a very good Valkyrie pulling the Decker Cane back in. They're gonna prioritize them and be able to burst them down. Apocalypse will come out from the Diablo zones back the enemy team, as well as the Phoenix from the Kael'thas, but that's not enough to find a kill. Back into our talents, we can actually look at those 13s that did come in as well for the members of Phoenix Rising Citrine. They have Samuro pushing out top lane. They're pushing down bottom lane. 3 Guardians left, overpower from Diablo onto this Mei, who's just going to pop their Cryo Freeze, eat a lot of the damage. That's a chomp from Ace onto the left-hand side of the screen, and they find the kill onto the Lunara, staggering out of death as Decker Cane just now comes back. 3 Guardians still pushing the lane. Defiant Angel trying to step in here, as that's a massive icing from Mei. Stay a while, listen comes out, but the Diablo still goes down. Rain very low. Will they be able to live through this? They actually double back for a second, and they're going to stay in this lane, getting some healing from Lamort. Guardians still sieging in. Guardians, by the way, are the 3 large boys that are attacking from the sky. Meanwhile, Samuro, just doing Samuro things, pushing out the top lane. Gloves of Elcracy. That's not how you say it, probably. Gain one basic attack range while avoidance is fully charged. Gain an additional 1 basic attack range. Wait, gain 1 basic attack range while avoidance is fully charged. Gain an additional. So you get 2. Okay. So you go from what, like 3.5 to 5.5? Where are you at, Cassia? There you are. 5.5. Okay. So you go to 7.2, 7.5, I think. Right? That math seems wrong in my head. I feel wrong saying this. Actual P measurements. Hee hee hee. We're mature on this stream. We're 100% mature over here. Defiant Angel just being harassed by a Samuro clone. Another clone coming out just to harass. Firestomp does reveal them over that bush, and they'll just grab the camp on the right. Top lane camp coming through will be needed to be dealt with at some point. 6.5. Am I dumb? I think I'm dumb. And she's mounted up, of course. I was looking to see when they were on the camp here. We're just gonna follow Cassie around for a wee bit here. All right, 6.5, because avoidance is up. So, but it would go up to 7, right? Because you get 1. You gain 1. Oh, no. You gain 1 baseline, then you get the extra just from avoidance. You're right. So it is 6.5. So it's 4.5 to 6.5. Okay, thank you. So mature, yeah. Because it already added the 1. You're right. I wasn't considering the base 1 that it adds. I was forgetting about that. I was assuming that it would add 2 rather than 1 plus 1. There we go. They were thinking about coming down for that, but no, they're going to take the safe rotation on this. They do have 16 talent here. I'm a little surprised them backing off. Or are they just trying to add some pressure? I think they're just trying to look to add pressure into top lane while they do maybe go for the fight. Top lane will be where their Zerg lane spawns. Bottom lane is going to be where the blue team spawns. Top lane would be pushing straight onto a keep. Bottom lane, well, I guess bottom lane would actually be pushing onto this, but I was just looking at the keep itself over here. 5,451 health as this is Diablo stepping onto point. No one in top lane. Rain is gonna just walk past the Diablo, go straight towards. That they were looking for the avalanche. It's like this Mei positioning is super awkward all of a sudden as they're gonna take a lot of damage. They pop the cryo freeze, stay a while and listen underneath that. Apocalypse as well. They're gonna try and ice out, but they're getting very low. The avalanche setup was way too much from Rain, and they're gonna go down. Meanwhile, on the left hand side, Kael'thas will be picked up by Samuro. The Decker Cane will be going down as well to the Orphea. Divine Angel just trying to casually 1v3. They're being chased out as the Samuro clones are doing the same. They're gonna step to the side for a potion, but they end up going down. Samuro is doubling back to come help out the friendly team, but this will be them just sneaking back into top to go for the channel onto that point right there, as they do have this camp already through top lane. And don't forget about the Goliaths that will be reducing the armor of structures as well. So 20 armor reduction on a keep is just going to burn it down, as this will be boss grabbed. I'm assuming this boss should go into top lane. This is actually one of those situations where, like, I was looking at this, like, I actually had it one time in the past where I was like, oh, it'll go into top because it's more well defended, but then went into bottom. But here, same case. I think I was just bugged out that one time, which this is mega win for the side of Phoenix Rising Citrine, because if they're able to get the Webweaver, not the Webweaver, the Zerg Wave with this as well, that's going to be just boss already pressuring the lane and then Zerg Wave rushing a little bit behind it. This could be game ending in favor for the side of Phoenix Rising Citrine. They don't have 16 talents here on the left hand side either, as they have their own Zerg Wave coming in. I tried to click on it. There it is. Just an itty bitty little Zerg Wave, going to try and help out. Couple lings are going to get on that catapult, but this will be, as I said, boss right up on the keep and the Zerg Wave right behind it. The entire right hand side team is going to be coming over here. Maple Syrup Bandits are doing their best to defend against this. They'll have 16 talent tiers in just a second. They're working on the boss. It's going to drop down to half health fairly soon, but then keep in mind you have this wave coming in right behind it. Excuse me, my throat got like super dry all of a sudden. Either way, I got some water really quickly, and we do have the Zerg Wave coming in. Boss is still fairly healthy. It's below half health, and that's a Kael'thas who existed, then just is blown up and gone. They're going to focus onto the core, at least the boss will. The Zerg Wave jumping in. The core is going to deal its own defensive damage. Crushing Jaws out from Ace, won't connect onto anyone. To dive onto Defiant Angel, they're going to power slide in, they're going to icing in. There's a stay a while and listen from Rago, but doesn't do much, and that will be game number 2 over to the side of Phoenix Rising Citrine. GG. Well played.